Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 7 Plus and compare it against the iPhone 11 and see which specific phone you should go and pick up. Now, clearly, I think the iPhone 11 is probably the better one for you, but I still think the iPhone 7 Plus is a very interesting phone that Apple made that I used for a little bit of time and I enjoyed it. So let's go and see how both these phones compare. If you want to pick up either one of these devices, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there. You can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off side by side, you can definitely tell that the iPhone 11 it does have a bigger screen overall than the iPhone 7 Plus, and it is a pretty good phone overall than the iPhone 7 Plus as well. The 7 Plus came out in 2016, and this iPhone was, I think, was pretty decent, but it was quite controversial. The main reason for it is because Apple did remove the headphone jack on this iPhone, but on the front you had a 5.5-inch IPS panel, and it was 1080p, and it honestly wasn't that bad of a display. I think it still looks pretty decent. Like, it's not an ugly panel, but it definitely does have a lot of bezel around it. This one is glitching up like crazy. The top bezel, you have the bottom bezel, Touch ID here, which is always nice to have, and it is a Touch ID 2 sensor, which is also pretty nice. And I think it looks pretty good overall. There's not really a lot to complain about here, which is always something that's really nice. With the iPhone 11, this is a much better looking panel. So it's a bigger display, 6.1-inch IPS panel. However, the resolution is lower on this screen, which is insane. So this one's like 750p. The iPhone 7 Plus is 1080p. Still don't know why Apple did that. It was so weird. But you do have kind of like a little bit of bezel around the display, but it's not anything crazy. Way better looking than the iPhone 7 Plus. You also have a notch up top too, which is pretty nice. And overall, I definitely do like the way the iPhone 11 looks. It's a very good iPhone, and I think this one gets a thumbs up for me for sure. Now, in terms of thinness and thickness, funny enough, I think the iPhone 7 Plus is the thinner phone. So that's always a very interesting thing whenever the older phone is like a thinner one. But I actually do like how the iPhone 11 is a little bit thicker because you are getting a little bit of a bigger size battery. The iPhone 7 Plus is also a bigger phone overall, like it just fits in like the iPhone 11 kind of sits inside of the 7 Plus for the most part. You're also getting lightning ports at the bottom, which is so cool. And on the back, you are getting, sorry, I just saw a massive B. On the back, you are getting a glass back on the iPhone 11. The iPhone 7 Plus, you're getting this aluminum back, which is super cool. It feels very, very premium on both. Dual camera setups on both. The iPhone 7 Plus was the first iPhone to bring a dual camera setup, which is insane. So I'm very happy with the way Apple approached both these phones. And the fact these phones are 3 years apart is pretty insane because you think that these phones are way like bigger apart in terms of years than that because it's just the way they look. But I will definitely say both feel very premium still. The 7 Plus still has a really, really nice feeling to it. Like, I love that like metal aluminum design. It feels very premium. But I definitely do like having the glass on the back end. It makes the phone feel that much more premium. So I definitely give the edge to the iPhone 11 overall. You are getting things on the iPhone 11 that you are not getting on the 7 Plus, like wireless charging. That's a big one. The gesture-based design on the iPhone 11. And also, you're getting IP certification on both as well. I think the 7 Plus was the first iPhone to have IP certification, but definitely the iPhone 11 is the better way to go for sure. Now, some other things to keep in mind. With the iPhone 7 Plus, I think this was a very, very good phone, like I mentioned before when it first came out. It is the worst thing about this phone right now is its a lack of software updates. So this iPhone is no longer getting any more software updates anymore. It stopped at iOS 15, which for better or for worse, like it kind of makes sense. I don't feel like this iPhone should have lasted forever, but I still feel like it could have gotten iOS 16, and I feel like it could have had a pretty decent time on iOS 16 as well. It's still insane to me that Apple did something like that. Again, what are you going to do? There's not much you can do about it, but it would have been really, really nice that Apple had given us iOS 16 here. But with the iPhone 11, this thing is still supported with software, and that is basically one of the main reasons why I would recommend buying something like an iPhone 11 over something like the iPhone 7 Plus. Now, let's go and do a speed comparison between both of these phones. The iPhone 7 Plus has that Apple A10 Fusion chip inside of it with 3 gigabytes of RAM, where the iPhone 11 has that Apple A13 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go and see which one's the faster one between both. Okay, there we go. Hopping out all the apps in the background. Let's go and get into it. So phone calls, 3, 2, 1. Okay, iPhone 11 was faster there. Let's go and do music, 3, 2, 1. Okay, iPhone 11 was faster there. iPhone 7 Plus, much slower. Their app stores, 3, 2, 1. Totally messed that one up, but I think the iPhone 11 could still load it up faster. No, but I think the iPhone 11 probably would have been faster. I actually don't know about that one. Let's go and scroll through this one. Let's see which one it is. I don't know really know what to tell it. I probably shouldn't have opened up those ones differently. Let's go and do the cameras, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think iPhone 11 was faster. Photos, 3, 2, 1. iPhone 11, I think, slightly faster there too. Hopping out of here. Let's go and try a different one. Let's go and try clock, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go and load up some other applications. Now we do have Genshin Impact here. Very, very, very big game. Let's go and see what this game is. 3, 2, 1. Now, like I said, this is a big game, so it could take a little bit of time for it to load up completely. So we're just going to have to kind of wait and see. And I think the iPhone 11 is probably going to be the faster one, which is exactly what I'm expecting. And it is the faster one overall. The iPhone 7 Plus, slightly slower, but not. It actually wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to get into some of these other applications that I have on both. Let's go and try Facebook. Let's skip that one. Twitter, 3, 2, 1. iPhone 11 is the faster one. Let's go and do Netflix, 3, 2, 1. Okay, iPhone 11 is the faster one there. Let's do Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. Okay, iPhone 11 is the faster one. Dropbox, 3, 2, 1. Okay, iPhone 11, I think, is again the faster one. Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it looks to me that the iPhone 11 was quite a bit faster. Now, this one was on that downloading content thing, but it's weird because I just opened this application up like 3 days ago for an iPhone 7 versus iPhone 7 Plus comparison, and this one should have already had it downloaded in the background, so it's weird that it's going through it again. I never really understood that. So you can see right here, I mean, massive difference. Could be like a memory issue on the 7 Plus, who knows, on iOS 15. Let's go try Snake versus Blocks, 3, 2, 1. And the iPhone 11, I think, was the faster one there. The 7 Plus slightly slower. Let's go and hop into these ones. And let's go and try Stack, 3, 2, 1. And I think the iPhone 11, I think, is the faster one here too. So overall, I'll definitely tell you the iPhone 11, I think it was quite obvious that one was going to be the faster one in almost every single area. But I think the 7 Plus did a decent job. But again, it's like a 3-year-old older phone. I mean, it kind of makes sense how much slower it is. So in the camera department, this was another good area between both phones, I think. With the iPhone 11, you are getting, I mean, a dual camera setup on both, which is fascinating. But they're very different. The iPhone 11 has a wide and ultra-wide camera, 7 Plus wide and telephoto lens. You have 4K on the back, but the iPhone 11 has 4K at 60 on the front and the back, which is already better than the iPhone 7 Plus's camera. But I give Apple a lot of credit for the iPhone 7 Plus. I mean, this was definitely one of the more impactful iPhones because of its ability of bringing that dual camera setup. I think that was a super important thing. You had 10x zoom here, standard 1x zoom though, video mode, time lapse, you had portrait mode, square mode, lots of good stuff here. And this was definitely a really good camera for the most part because it was the first dual camera iPhone, but I don't think it was the first dual camera phone, but it was up there. With the iPhone 11, this one is still a very good camera too. So you're still getting 0.5x zoom, which I think is beautiful. You're getting standard 5x zoom here, which is really nice. You're getting video mode, slow mode, time lapse, in portrait mode, panorama mode. You're getting lots of cool stuff here, which I actually like a lot. And with a phone like the iPhone 11, it's a very solid camera for sure. So what I'll definitely tell you is at the end of the day, the iPhone 11 is a very solid phone. I think it's definitely the better phone between these two. And this is the only one that I would recommend buying. I wouldn't recommend buying an iPhone 7 Plus anymore. I would only recommend buying an iPhone 8 or newer. This is including the iPhone 11. I think the 7 Plus, like I mentioned before, was a good phone, and I think it kind of ended abruptly early, but I don't think it's worth buying anymore in my opinion, and the iPhone 11 is probably the one I'd recommend buying more. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.